The New York City story, the Baltimore story are these stunning stories of great improvements in the ability of governments to provide services for their citizens through data-driven management. There's lots of pieces to the performance management. You have to get your strategy right. You have to have data that's useful. You have to have metrics that are actually well aligned with your goals. You have to have leadership. You have to have management reform. When you only get some of these pieces together, you end up with an inchoate reform that really doesn't accomplish very much. LMU, which does these election surveys, they were finding that 50% of the citizens of Los Angeles were dissatisfied with the services that they were getting. What Mayor Garcetti came in to do, he said, look, we have CompStat. The LAPD had one of the most successful uses of data-based management in the entire world. Why can't we take that model and spread it throughout the entire city? He made that a goal and said that I want all 35 of our departments to come up with performance-style reforms. Getting people involved in working on this is the best way to get people to feel like you can produce positive results. And what we were able to do is we were able to look at these different characteristics of the 35 departments and see which one of the key features led to success. And when you do this analysis, you can come up with two different formulas for success. If you have a large department, you have strong leadership and strong analytics, those departments were better able to improve their performance. Or another one is that he had a large department and Mayor Garcetti was specifically focused, and this is a department that we wanted to pay close attention to. That also led to success.
These are large departments, but beyond just having a lot of employees or having a number of resources, they were able to dedicate a specific line of employees or a line of resources to be a part of these reforms. At the GM and AGM level, specifically at the Department of Transportation, they've had strong leadership, and in sanitation and planning, the deputy directors have really been driving these process. And what I would say about each of these leaders is that they've been students of the performance management reform. So they've been taking time to learn how to push or not push these reforms in certain ways and understand how their department is reacting. So we can see that each of these departments, through the leadership, through their large size, analytics, and in some cases mayoral focus, have been moving to these active problem solving, these future planning and resource allocating departments within the city.
The big changes come when you get much better data that you can get in real time that's really very detailed.
One ought to go to the places where there is a greater likelihood of success, demonstrate that success, and then have it spread.
We need to build the momentum that can get other people on board and make it clear what it is that people are joining, so that people can see somebody else that they know that either is from a different department or from their own department. A lot of people have things that they want to change, but don't really believe that anybody will listen to them.
It's not so much that there's some magic answer out there, it's doubling down and focusing on the things that have already worked. Getting department heads and empowering them to use this tool.
You have a champion, they're super successful, and then they leave. The question then is, how do you try and keep a network together so that because if you can't rely on individuals, you have to rely on networks, because networks can kind of hold this together.
We know what we should be doing, what the ingredients of progress are, yet we don't do. And I would tell you that the notion of culture is so very powerful in the context of an organization, of a bureaucracy, and trying to change it. It has to be something that ultimately gets incorporated into the culture and has survivability.